Hello guys, this is Zach from Zach Animate Studios. Today I wanted to share with you some of the things I've learned over the years. Basically, I'm an internet developer. I've learned through the internet. I've learned through the free resources on the internet. That right now I am the developer I'm a graphic designer the way I am. Today I just wanted to share you some of the great resources, the great resources where I have learned most of these things. You can imagine a few years ago I didn't even have a phone. I didn't have a good phone. I remember I used to have Nokia 3310. Nokia 3310 is the first internet. It used to hold. You could use it to. It used to have the first it had internet, and I was a fan of. I was a fan of, um, of W3schools. These are just some of the resources. I'm just going back just to look at them and see how do they still exist. So basically, my number one, it's not in order, but W3schools. W3schools is a good website where you can learn both HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the goodness with W3schools, they have text. Try it yourself. The online editor. Try it yourself. So you can try. You write a code and you try. Let's say like creating a hello page. You create a introduction to that. This is introduction to HTML. There you will learn about most of the basic things. I can't. This is a full free resources you can utilize on your free time. The way I used to learn, basically, I used to solve. I approached my programming by solving pieces of puzzles that I wanted to know. So basically, if I can remember my story, I wanted to create. I'm a graphic designer. I draw caricature. If you know caricature, I draw cartoons. So what I wanted my stories to be. First, I wanted to take them to a magazine, so that you can publish those stories on a magazine. But definitely I didn't have the resources. Buying the chalk, buying pencil, paper at that time, it was expensive. So I thought, let me draw it on a piece of paper and then I upload them as images. So that's the way I approached programming in my life. That's how right now I'm a good developer. I can solve clients' problem with the same approach. So you identify your client's needs. So like my need initially, I wanted to have those like amazing photos. I still have them. You see, it is in my email address. If we can go back, it's in 2010. So I created those images. And then what I thought was right was to arrange them in grids. That is grid 1, storyboard 1, storyboard 2, storyboard 3. So at the end of the day, you have like a full story. So that I realized now it is just not copying and pasting on the website. So I started to learn HTML. I learned H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, paragraph. Then I also learned about all those things, and then you start styling. I learned about tables. Now tables came in when I started learning to do the collecting data from the database. So you create databases, also the grids. So basically, it helps arrange your information in order. There's another school, I think it's Tutorial Point. Yeah, Tutorial Point is also another good resource learning center. You can learn your coding there, and you will take a lot of time. Basically, you don't have to take a lot of time. Right now, I believe the website has really improved. There are so many paid courses. You can get online tutors online. You can log in, you can register, you can find teachers online who can help you to code. Also, the goodness with the Tutorial Point, it has a coding ground. Those are some of the good things that with these websites you can learn them for free as you build daily. So the way I approached my learning curve was to find a problem and then I solved it. How do I add an image to a website? That was my problem. I solved it. That's how then. So I built that. I was learning through problem solving technique. Let me say that. So the way I also approach my clients, and normally I hear them out, I hear the problems, and then I solve them. I try to solve that particular problem they have. At the end of the day, learning is a process. It has a lot of things you learn from HTML, from the first element. At the end of the day, you will come up with your own website. So all these elements, you can learn CSS. CSS is how you script your website. You can learn SQL. Now this is when you start adding some of the complicated. You're saving your data from into a database. Also, that is a process. Like how do I save my images into the server? How do I solve that? So basically those are the questions I used to ask myself. How to do this, how to do that. So how to basically my first question I used to answer is how to get these images into the website. Basically now the first answer came. Now you have to learn HTML. Now what does HTML has? It has all those elements. Starting from the elements, building that, it took me several. I think I took almost the longest time. I've learned almost the longest, but right now all these resources are there for you. You can register, you can pay for the courses if you don't want to take a lot of time to learn them. Just pay for them. You pay for them, you have the lessons, you have the skills. Also, another important skill, you have to understand the bootstrap. Bootstrap is how you're going to style your website, how you're going to arrange information on your website, the pages, how it's going to look like, how you are going to style the menu. This is a menu. How you're going to style the body, how you're going to style the content of your website. Are you going to keep it? So basically the styling comes in. You are also going now to use the CSS. These are already pre-processed CSS. You just use them. It has the columns, containers, grid, form elements. All those are the, you can see I'm talking about them. I'm not cooking them out of any place, but they are all in these courses, so you just have to learn them. Another thing is there's so many learning curve also on YouTube. You just go to YouTube. There's a friend of mine, there's a person who, like, if you want to learn Laravel daily is one of the, I think the daily is one of the guy who I normally follow to learn a lot of Laravel. I salute this man. It's called Pauvolis. Let's just open his YouTube channel. So this guy, I salute him. He's a good guy. I learned all of my coding skills from this guy. Like I have so many friends of mine who have encouraged me. I appreciate Mr. Masika, that is Masika. I learned C Sharp. I learned a lot of C Sharp, that is database designs on C Sharp. So basically, I can do any project on any language, C Sharp, PHP. So basically, it's all about learning, and I encourage you also to learn daily. Always strive to learn. Strive to learn. At the same time, if you have a project now, if you have a project you want to work with me, I humbly request you can reach out to me so we can work out a project. I'll be so humbled to work for you. This is Zach from Zach Anime Studios here in Nairobi. I salute you. Thank you.